guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Mr. Death Breath, where I do spoiler-free film reviews, sometimes celebrity interviews. Before we begin, please turn on post notifications, please subscribe, and check out my Instagram page. I'd appreciate that. Thank you guys. Okay, so this is going to be something different here. I'm going to review the film like I normally do a review, but before I finish off the video, it's going to continue a little bit so I can do some spoilers and some ranting. So this is going to be a little bit of a review and an analysis, okay? Alright guys, there'll be warnings ahead, so let's begin. Okay, so Den of Thieves. Den of Thieves. Let's talk a little bit about it. Criminals are trying to rob the Federal Reserve, okay? Stars Gerard Butler, Pablo Schreiber, who happens to be related to Liev Schreiber, an amazing actor, O'Shea Jackson, okay? So, the acting, Pablo Schreiber specifically, he's fantastic. He does such a good job. I love Pablo Schreiber in these gangster roles. He just has this tough look, and he always comes across really tough. There was also a movie, I believe it was called Thumper. It's on Netflix. He plays another type criminal character, and he just does them so well. He was also Pornstache, if you remember in Orange is the New Black. I love my woman! Pornstache, yeah. He's such a great actor. He's good at being scummy, he's good at being tough, he's good at being he's just awesome. And Gerard Butler, of course. Gerard Butler delivers. I mean, even when he's done some of those terrible rom-coms in the early 2000s, he still delivered. Although I do like The Ugly Truth quite a bit. He did a good job. But Bounty Hunter, not a good movie. But he's a great actor. He does a good job. Okay, so, the acting's fantastic. Later on in the film, there's a specific shootout scene towards the end of the film, and it really reminded me for a brief moment of Heat, where I got goosebumps. Like, this is just a scene, and it's just so well done. Essentially, cops are chasing the bad guys, and it's just like, whoa. Like, it was just like, whoa! Like, I really got those chills, and I was just all about it. So, now let's get into the bad. So, the bad is really that the film doesn't know what it wants to be. That's the problem. So let's bury it on a rating. Let's give it a rating. Scale 1 to 10, it's a 6 out of 10. Great performances, great shootout, has a really great solid film, but then it just kind of messes up at the end. So 6 out of 10. Watch at your own caution. It's on Netflix. Okay, so now I'm going to start getting into spoiler territory. So if you want to stop the video, I appreciate you watching. Thanks so much for sticking with me on this one. I know it was shorter than usual, but thank you so much. Please drop a like, please subscribe. I appreciate you guys. Time for spoilers. Okay, so what's fantastic about this film, like I said, is the shootout. There's a specific shootout scene towards the end when the cops are chasing the bad guys, Pablo Schreiber. He ends up getting this tripoded machine gun, like an LMG, okay? And as the cops are working their way on this traffic jam, they're moving through and they're trying to get everyone out of the cars, and Pablo Schreiber gets his gun. It's like, he says, give me the, I think he says something to the effect of, give me the axe. So he gets it and he props it up on the roof of one of these SUVs. And as the cops are coming through, he manages to look and kind of aim down the sights, but he's aiming through 10 cars, and he fires, and he just hits like 5 cops, and they're like, ah! And it was just so awesome. It was just like, oh my gosh, that was such a great scene. I was just like, this reminds me of Heat. You remember the shootout from Heat? You know. And Pablo Schreiber, everything he says, everything he does, he's just such a badass. I mean, gosh, and then, Gerard Butler, he's so tough in this movie. He plays very much that tough, cowboy-like cop. From what I understand, this is based off of, his character's based off of Jay Dobbins. He was an ATF agent that went undercover with the Mongols. He also wrote a book called Unwritten Alone, which I highly recommend. It's absolutely fantastic. So let's get into what makes me drop this movie from a 7 to 10. What could have been a really, or from a 6, from a 10 out of 10 to a 6 out of 10. What really could have been a fantastic crime movie, just another entry. Maybe nothing that's gonna shake the ground that we walk on or be something new, but more something that's just a solid entry. Not every film has to be this amazing movie. Some movies are just good. Like, for instance, The Town with Ben Affleck. It's not like, oh my gosh, this reinvented the wheel. No, but it's a damn good crime entry. And those are good. We need those. Crime movies are fantastic, especially good ones, you know? I mean, Goodfellas and Casino, it's the same movie, basically, but they're just solid movies. They're good movies, you know? And it could have been another strong entry into the crime genre, very much like Harsh Times. So, what bothers me about this film is the film doesn't know what it wants to be. So essentially, as the film's rounding out, they basically rob the Federal Reserve by basically getting the money that was supposed to be shredded, throwing it in trash bags. They go and collect it, and as Pablo Schreiber goes to collect it, the actor named O'Shea Jackson, who plays essentially a former criminal that gets looped in as a driver, ends up getting captured by Gerard Butler. So he's trapped in the back of the seat of the Cadillac Escalade, or the SUV, whatever. He's trapped, and meanwhile, Gerard Butler and his other cop buddies are going after Liev Schreiber and the other characters. And as going after them, they're shooting them, and they get them, and there's an awesome gun shootout like I talked about. And, you know, when they're going, they end up killing them, they end up checking the back where the money is, but when they look to see the money, it turns out it's just shredded money. So I was like, that's kind of weird, right? Because it should have been actual money, not shredded money. The point was to get the money that didn't go into the shredder. So after they end up realizing the mistake, they're like, that's kind of weird. What are they going to do, make snow globes? I think someone actually says that. They end up going back to their SUV where the actor Ishio Jackson is, and apparently he's gone. Dun, 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 dun. Where'd he go? Oh my gosh. Right? Well, this is where it gets stupid to me. So it turns out that this guy pretended to not be a mastermind and give it all to Liev Schreiber's character, or not Liev Schreiber, Pablo Schreiber's character, and be like, Pablo Schreiber, you're going to be the mastermind, you're going to run this whole thing. He's like, okay, I run it my way. And you'll get a cut, essentially, of what the money is. You'll get a cut of what we do. We rob this thing, you be the figurehead, I'll be the information guy, and I just don't take responsibility. So essentially, he's like the, here's the puppet, and here's the guy behind him, essentially, which is Shia Jackson. Pablo Schreiber, or Shia Jackson, you know? So he looks like he's kind of a timid, weak character. And then, okay, that makes sense, you can kind of roll with that. So he basically double-crossed Pablo Schreiber. Okay. Cool, so he has the money. Okay, so it turns out he has the money, and he robs it with a whole other group of guys. Okay, cool, good twist. But, this is where it gets stupid. This is where, like, I just hated this movie because of this. I mean, I didn't hate it enough to give it a 1 out of 10, but I hated it enough to drop it from a potential 10 out of 10 to a 6 out of 10. So now, they cut, and he's in London. And he's working at a bar like he did in his firmer job. And, oh, and by the way, you get some cool cameos from the legend Max Holloway and Michael Bisping. You guys are awesome. Much respect, boys. UFC fighters, incredible. And he's over there, and he's talking with a British accent. Hi, mate, how's it going? And he's pouring drinks. And the ever so charming and dapper Michael Bisping comes up looking all nice in a blue tailored suit. And he's like, oh, I work in the Federal Diamond Exchange. He's like, oh, you work in the Federal Diamond Exchange, eh? And then they do a flashback, right, where you see Shia Jackson talking. He's like, yeah, you know, people get drunk, they talk about everything. So he's like, it's kind of like laying the foundation. He's like, oh, you work in the Federal Diamond Exchange? Here, drinks are on the house. And I'm like, come on, dude, you're freaking kidding me. That is so stupid. So basically, he's not just the guy that swindled people with a mastermind thing, but he's also a chameleon. And he's gonna change his voice and go to England and get everyone drunk so he can rob a diamond exchange. It's like, come on, dude. Like, it's just such a stupid, unbelievable direction, okay? It's like, I can accept the fact that it was a heist, but now he's changing his voice, moving to England, about to rob some English guy. So come on, by talking with a Cockney accent, hey, mate, you want a little bit? You want to get a little bit? You want a little fist to the face, eh? It's like, come on, dude. It's like, that's where it just kind of jumped the shark. For those that don't know what that means, it basically means it went too far. It was so stupid, I couldn't take it. Like, the movie was solid until that final bit. Until they made him a voice-changing swindler that'll move to another continent so he can get a job done. It just seems like, know your movie, man. Anyway, guys, I had to vent that one out because I couldn't take it. I'm like, have you guys seen Dead at Thieves? I tried to my friends were like, no. I'm like, oh, man. Like, and I kind of put myself in a hole here because I'm like, spoiler for your reviews. But I'm like, you know, you guys will understand. Guys, if you guys stuck with me this long, I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Guys, please drop a like on this video. Please subscribe. And as always, I'll see you soon.